Most people believe their greatest financial losses come from bad market conditions or sudden emergencies. Yet if you look closely at a mature life, the real drain is much quieter. It is the money you lose because you were too polite to ask for what was owed. It is the unpaid invoice sitting on a desk, or the shared bill you quietly swallowed to avoid 10 seconds of awkward silence. Politeness feels like a virtue, but when it replaces clear boundaries, it becomes an expensive habit. You end up protecting someone else's comfort today by sacrificing your own peace tomorrow. There is a practical way to fix this, and it starts by changing how you handle small boundaries. We must be careful never to confuse genuine generosity with passive conflict avoidance. Generosity comes from strength and conscious intent. It is a gift you grant freely from a surplus of time or economic capability. But allowing an unpaid bill to sit on your desk, accepting a compensation offer far below your market standard, or letting an associate push their responsibilities onto your calendar is not generosity. It is an expensive form of timidity. You are paying a heavy private fee to buy 30 seconds of temporary harmony today, and you are charging that fee directly to your future independence. Consider the long-term arithmetic of this habit over 10 or 15 years in business. A skilled professional leaves 10 or 15% of their legitimate earnings on the table year after year simply because bringing up money makes their chest tighten. A small business owner permits a chronic client to stretch 30-day payment terms into 90 days, then turns around and takes a high-interest commercial loan just to meet Friday payroll. On a financial statement, it looks like an unpredictable operational crunch. In truth, it is an avoidable structural leak created by the quiet refusal to speak simple, direct sentences when agreements are broken. The counterintuitive reality of adult enterprise is that clear boundaries create far more professional respect than constant flexibility ever can. When you state your terms precisely and maintain them without anger or apology, reliable clients and colleagues feel safer doing business with you. Ambiguity, on the other hand, invites negligence. When you stay silent about missing payments, scope creep, or broken commitments, you actively teach others that your schedule is negotiable and your work is secondary. You believe you are preserving a good working relationship, but you are actually training people to treat your standards as optional suggestions. Eventually, the financial drain turns into a deep corrosion of character and personal self-respect. You begin to harbor secret bitterness toward business partners, managers, or family members who are simply moving through the wide open doors you left unlocked. You cannot hold someone responsible for crossing a line you never took the time to draw. When you fail to set limits, you force yourself to carry the economic and emotional burden of someone else's convenience. True maturity requires you to understand that firm agreements, prompt invoices, and explicit expectations are not acts of hostility. They are the basic tools of clarity. They protect both sides of a relationship by keeping expectations honest and obligations visible. Once you replace the desire for cheap approval with a quiet commitment to clear standards, you stop subsidizing other people's carelessness with your own life's work. To see how this principle operates in daily business, imagine two independent commercial contractors who launch their firms in the same town, bringing equal technical expertise, similar work ethic, and identical initial capital to the marketplace. Let us call them George and Marcus. 6 months into their individual practice, both men land an important contract with the exact same regional property developer. Halfway through the construction job, the developer sends an informal message requesting a major alteration to the original building design, a complex modification requiring 2 full weeks of unbudgeted labor and expensive secondary materials. The message carries an implicit expectation that the crew will simply start the extra work on Monday morning without extending the final completion deadline or adjusting the agreed invoice. George feels a familiar knot of anxiety in his chest. He calculates the added expense and realizes that absorbing the extra labor and material costs will completely wipe out his operating profit for the entire quarter. Yet, he hesitates to issue a formal change order, terrified that bringing up money will make him sound difficult, damage the business relationship, or cause the developer to award future contracts to a competitor. Instead, George keeps his mouth shut. he orders the extra supplies on his personal credit card and asks his crew to work unpaid overtime, telling himself that he is demonstrating loyalty and earning valuable long-term goodwill. Over the next 6 months, the developer continues to demand repeated unbilled adjustments, quickly learning that George never holds anyone to the written contract. George watches his emergency cash reserves evaporate while his personal stress reaches an all-time high. He finds himself taking out high-interest commercial loans just to cover his regular Friday payroll, suffering in silence while nursing an intense secret bitterness toward a developer who genuinely believes everything is running smoothly. Marcus receives the exact same message on Friday afternoon. He reads it once, picks up his desk phone, and calls the developer's project manager directly. In a calm, steady voice, he says, "We can certainly execute those design changes for you. I will have my office draft an official change order detailing the material costs and the 3-day timeline extension. As soon as your office approves the written estimate on Monday morning, we will mobilize the crew." There is no anger in his voice, no elaborate defense of his boundaries, and no trace of apology for holding to the contract. The project manager pauses for a brief moment, agrees without argument, and signs the change order by noon on Monday. Marcus protects his profit margin, respects his crew's calendar, and establishes a clear standard for all future business interactions. By the end of 2 years, George is completely exhausted and near financial bankruptcy, working 80 hours a week to cover the hidden structural shortfalls created by his own silence. Marcus has built a highly profitable enterprise with a solid reputation for professional reliability, surrounded by clients who pay promptly and respect his operational standards. The stark difference in their outcomes had nothing to do with market forces, luck, or mechanical craftsmanship. It was decided entirely by their willingness to handle 30 seconds of boundary setting with calm clarity instead of silent fear. At the end of our time together today, a brief space of quiet and music will remain on this video. When that moment arrives, it will offer you a quiet opportunity to reflect on the story of these two men, helping you recognize which of their daily habits you are currently practicing in your own career and personal affairs. To move from passive regret to practical mastery, you must establish specific structural habits that remove emotion from the equation entirely. The first mechanism is the discipline of front-loaded agreement. The common mistake is beginning labor, delivering services, or lending resources based on vague verbal assurances, hoping the details will sort themselves out later. The accumulated cost of this habit is constant scope creep, unbilled overtime, and unrecoverable personal hours. The practical replacement is simple. Never move a muscle until the scope, compensation, and payment schedule are written down and confirmed by both parties. You do not need a 20-page legal document. A clear, simple message outlining what you will deliver, when you will deliver it, and what the financial consideration will be is enough. By securing agreement before you invest your energy, you convert awkward future confrontations into standard administrative procedure. The second mechanism is immediate, dispassionate response to broken commitments. When an invoice becomes past due or an agreed deadline passes without explanation, many people wait a week or two, hoping the other party will remember. They delay because they feel uncomfortable bringing up money. Yet every day you remain silent after a boundary is crossed, you quietly signal that your terms are optional. The cost is a mounting list of overdue accounts and a growing resentment toward people who assume you do not mind. The practical replacement is to establish a personal standard of immediate, neutral follow-up. On the exact day a payment is missed or an agreement is breached, send a brief, courteous note referencing the original term. Speak without anger, frustration, or defensive padding. Treat the matter as a routine operational check rather than a dramatic personal conflict. The third mechanism is the 24-hour reflection buffer. Pressure to sacrifice your standards almost always occurs in real time, face-to-face or on the phone, when someone places an immediate demand on your time or capital. In that high-pressure window, the desire to be liked often overrides sound judgment. The accumulated cost of immediate consent is a calendar filled with obligations you never wanted and a budget stretched thin by other people's priorities. The practical replacement is to adopt a permanent operational policy. Never accept a new commitment or scope modification on the spot. Train yourself to say, "Let me review my current schedule and budget, and I will give you a formal answer by tomorrow morning." This small buffer separates your natural urge to please from your rational evaluation of the facts. Now, the primary objection that holds intelligent people back from applying these disciplines is the deep-seated fear of loss. You might worry that setting firm boundaries will cause clients to leave, friends to take offense, or managers to view you as uncooperative. But consider what actually happens when you establish clear standards. The individuals who walk away simply because you ask them to honor written agreements or respect your time are not true partners. They are chronic beneficiaries of your reluctance to speak up. They were eating away at your stability all along. The people who truly value your competence and character will never be offended by your clarity. In fact, they will respect you more for it. Boundaries do not destroy valuable relationships. They filter out structural liabilities so that sound, mutual partnerships can thrive. The fourth mechanism is the monthly audit of self-subsidized loss. Take time every 30 days to review where your hours and money actually went compared to your formal agreements. Identify every unpaid hour, uncollected invoice, or unreciprocated favor you swallowed in the name of politeness. Write down the precise dollar figure and hour count. When you see the cumulative price of your silence written plainly on paper, the temporary awkwardness of setting a firm boundary loses its power over you. You realize that keeping quiet is far more expensive than speaking up. Now let us bring this entire principle directly down to your immediate personal reality. Every single unmade request, every outstanding invoice you hesitate to resend, and every explicit contract term you allow someone to bypass is a soft subsidy. You are quietly signing away your future independence simply to avoid 30 seconds of awkwardness in your chest today. When you calculate the true long-term arithmetic, you realize you are trading your retirement security, your family's peace of mind, and your private self-respect for a brief, artificial dose of social ease. Here's your direct challenge for today. Identify the single largest financial or operational leak in your life right now. The specific situation that made your stomach tighten when we discussed it earlier. You know precisely which one it is without looking at a balance sheet. It might be the business partner who consistently neglects their administrative duties, the long-standing client who chronically ignores your 30-day payment terms, the manager who continually postpones your formal compensation review, or the relative who treats your personal savings as an interest-free line of credit. Whatever shape it takes in your routine, name it honestly today without offering soft excuses on their behalf. It is not an unavoidable act of nature or bad economic luck. It is a costly structural leak maintained entirely by your silence. Once you bring that specific leak into clear focus, decide on the exact operational standard you will require moving forward. You do not need to deliver an aggressive ultimatum, raise your voice, or stage an emotional confrontation. Maturity requires far less drama than that. You simply need to draft one clear, calm sentence that states the factual reality and sets the precise requirement. If a client is 2 months overdue, your professional statement is straightforward. Current work pauses until the outstanding balance is brought up to date. If a colleague attempts to dump their unfinished assignments onto your calendar, your response is equally clean. Your current commitments do not leave room for additional tasks. The transformative power does not reside in a fiery speech, but in your calm, unshakable willingness to enforce the standard without offering defensive apologies. You are facing a fundamental choice that will dictate the next decade of your life. You can continue to finance other people's carelessness with your own health, time, and hard-earned capital, or you can choose to accept the brief, manageable discomfort of establishing total clarity. Protecting the fruits of your labor is not an act of hostility or greed. It is the primary obligation of a responsible adult. When you stop subsidizing negligence, you instantly recover the exact mental energy and economic assets required to build real security for yourself and those who truly depend on you. In a few moments, as our discussion draws to a close, a brief space of music and quiet will remain on this video. Do not treat that time as background noise or hurry away to the next distraction. Use that coming quiet to conduct an honest audit of your daily habits. Carry one specific question into that silent reflection. Where have you been trading your long-term dignity for cheap, temporary approval? And what precise boundary will you draw before this week is over? Think back to the image of an unlocked door standing open to anyone who happens to wander through it. You do not need to build a thick fortress wall to protect your life's work. You simply need to step forward, turn the key, and lock that single door. Within the next 24 hours, commit to taking one visible, irreversible action regarding the financial leak you identified earlier. Draft the brief factual email to the overdue client, send the precise payment terms to the project manager, or write the calm, direct note to the business partner setting your daily standards moving forward. Keep the message short, clean, and free from emotional padding. Do not ask for permission to enforce your own agreements, and never apologize for expecting mature adults to honor their word. When you execute that single task tomorrow, pay close attention to what actually takes place inside your own mind. The sharp wave of tension you have been running from for months will peak and quickly dissolve, leaving in its place a quiet, enduring sense of relief and renewed authority. You will discover that the formidable mountain of resistance you feared was nothing more than a thin paper barrier sustained entirely by your hesitation. By taking that single step, you immediately stop the financial drain, restore your personal boundaries, and reclaim control over your calendar. You quietly signal to yourself and to those around you that while your goodwill is genuine, your stability is no longer up for negotiation. If you feel a lingering urge to delay, recognize it for what it truly is, the old habit of seeking cheap approval, trying to reassert itself. Remind yourself that every day you postpone clarity, you are choosing to pay for someone else's convenience with your own peace of mind. The small discomfort of setting a boundary lasts 30 seconds. The heavy weight of regret lasts for years. As our conversation comes to a close, the narration will stop, and the music and quiet that follow will remain on your screen. Do not hurry away to the next task or search for another quick distraction. Carry the weight of your decision into this brief space of reflection. Sit with the truth of your situation and prepare yourself to act. When the quiet fades and tomorrow morning arrives, will you continue to subsidize other people's carelessness, or will you finally turn the key and lock the door?